Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Steve. So, I've been watching the preseason, and I've been watching a lot of the Golden State Warriors. The reason why is because I want to see this new team. Everyone is saying, and I'm gonna make a video about them in later on today. I don't know which one's gonna come first, but so I've been watching the preseason. A lot of Stephen Curry I've been watching, and he looks like he has improved defensively. Either that, or it's just the preseason, so his defense looks inflated because the opponents aren't really going their hardest, just like the Warriors aren't going their hardest in the preseason. So that could be the case. But for the most part, it looks like he has improved his defense. And the reason why I believe this is because over the summer, he was saying he needs to improve his game dramatically in order to be able to compete with LeBron James. So Stephen Curry improving his defense. That is the single most important thing about basketball. Defense. Defense wins basketball games. Defense is the best offense. You need to be aggressive on the defensive end. So what does this mean for the Golden State Warriors? First of all, it creates a nightmare for the opposing team. Here's why, offensively. Here's why. If Stephen Curry can start to guard players like Chris Paul, Kyrie Irving, Damian Lillard, he doesn't even have to lock them down, but at least guard them like consistently, right? Slow them down a little bit. He doesn't have to be a Kawhi Leonard type defender or like a LeBron in his younger day type defender, like a Dwyane Wade or Kobe or Jordan. He could just be a solid defender. That's all, to where he can keep up with Kyrie, Dame Lillard, and all these other superstar point guards. So if Stephen Curry can do that, it creates an amazing rotation for the Golden State Warriors defense, which will help them in the long run. And here's why. With Kevin Durant and Klay Thompson, Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green, with those three being able to guard elite perimeter players, wing players, I guess you could say perimeter/wing players in terms of like Carmelo, LeBron, Paul George, James Harden, these elite players. So Kevin Durant, we already know he can guard Carmelo, he can guard LeBron. He may not be able to stop them, but he can guard them. He can stick up with them and make them work for the shots. Paul George is saying right. So if Kevin Durant can do that, Klay Thompson can do that, and so can Draymond Green. So what does this mean? This means instead of Stephen Curry going on to the 2 guard and Klay Thompson guarding the point and KD guarding, LeBron or any other elite small forward, and Draymond Green guarding any elite big man, this means that Kevin Durant can guard the 2 guard, Klay Thompson can guard the 3 guard, and Kevin Durant doesn't have to work so hard on the defensive end, which means on the offensive end, he will have more energy. Well, his stamina is already up there, but he will already have more energy, and he'll be able to work harder on the offensive end than he would if he had to work hard on the defensive end and the offensive end at the same time. Now, don't get me wrong, he's obviously going to have to work hard on defense. You always work hard on defense, but not as hard against some of these star players. Because think about it, if Klay Thompson, let's say, all right, let's use this for example. Let's start off with the New York Knicks. Carmelo Anthony, Carmelo Anthony, Courtney Lee, Brandon Jennings, Derrick Rose, right? So if Stephen Curry can guard Derrick Rose, they can put Kevin Durant on Courtney Lee, and then they can put Klay Thompson on Carmelo Anthony. Now, Klay Thompson may not have the weight, but at the same time, he's still a really good defender, which will make Carmelo Anthony have to work for shots. And what does this mean? Think about it. If Kevin Durant is on Courtney Lee, putting a hand up on Courtney Lee, keep in mind, Courtney Lee is like 6'5", Kevin Durant is 6'11", and if he sticks his hand straight up, it's nearly 10 feet. So if he's on the perimeter guarding Courtney Lee, and Stephen Curry can keep up with Derrick Rose, he doesn't have to slow him down, but he can keep up with him and guard him. This means the New York Knicks will have to adjust to the Golden State Warriors defense instead of the Golden State Warriors adjusting their defense to the New York Knicks. It creates a scenario where the other team is always adjusting to you and you're not always adjusting to them. This is why it's so crucial to have Stephen Curry improve his defense. That's why it is so important for him to improve his defense. And that's why I always get on him for not being a great defender and not being able to guard the point guard position. It's embarrassing. But back to the point. So if Kevin Durant's on Courtney Lee, he has the height, he has the weight, the athleticism, and the size over Courtney Lee. Courtney Lee's not going to be able to get a shot up over Kevin Durant, most likely, right? For the most part. So what does this mean? This means there's less spacing on the floor for Carmelo Anthony, their scorer. So now, the Knicks are going to have to take Courtney Lee out, bring in Lance Thomas to put a bigger body on Kevin Durant. But what does this mean? This also impacts their spacing because Lance Thomas is a decent shooter. He's above average, but he's not a sharp shooter like Courtney Lee is. He is not as great of a shooter as Courtney Lee. Now, he's a better scorer than Courtney Lee, in my honest opinion, but he's not as great of a shooter as Carmelo Anthony. So this creates spacing issues for the opposing New York Knicks, which is why it is so crucial to be able to have Stephen Curry guard the point guard, because then Klay Thompson and Draymond can switch, Klay Thompson and Kevin Durant can switch, Kevin Durant and Draymond can switch, Klay, Draymond, Kevin Durant. It'll help the Golden State Warriors tremendously. Now let's look at the Cleveland Cavaliers, for example. Kyrie Irving, J.R. Smith, LeBron James, and Kevin Love. So, if Stephen Curry can guard Kyrie Irving, some parts of the game, Kevin Durant can go on J.R. Smith. Now, obviously, that's not going to happen for the majority of the game, but for portions of the game. And the reason why it's not going to happen for the majority is because these two superstars are going to go at it. The coaches are going to put them on each other. There's no doubt about it. But it'll give Kevin Durant time to breathe. That's their main scorer, their number one option. It's going to give Kevin Durant time to breathe on the defensive end. Because if he's guarding J.R. Smith is not always running around screens and backdoor cuts and all this. He does that sometimes, but not all the time. So again, what does this mean? Kevin Durant is nearly 7 feet tall. If he stands straight up with his arms straight up, that's nearly 10 feet tall. He's a 7'6" wingspan. I mean, you think about it, J.R. Smith is probably not going to be able to get up a shot on him. He's going to have to take it to the basket, which creates terrible spacing issues for LeBron James. And with Kevin Love banging down low against Draymond Green, hopefully the Cavaliers utilize that. Hypothetically, this is why I'm saying this. So hopefully the Cavaliers utilize that. Put Kevin Love in the post. But anyway, if Kevin Durant can guard J.R. Smith, it creates... if Stephen Curry can guard Kyrie Irving, it creates it's going to make the Cleveland... I just lost my train of thought. I apologize for that. It's going to make the Cleveland Cavaliers adjust their offense because there's going to be no spacing on the floor, which is absolutely awful if you're on offense when you have no spacing, sort of like the Chicago Bulls, which is why it is so freaking important to have shooters around you on the floor, which, it's not going to create that big of a difference in terms of, it's going to impact the New York Knicks more than it's going to impact the Cleveland Cavaliers. And here's why. The Cleveland Cavaliers are filled with shooters, and the reason is because LeBron James. Now, the New York Knicks, they don't need to have as many shooters because Carmelo Anthony is a really good shooter. So they don't need to have as many shooters as the Cavaliers do. But the reason why it's going to impact the New York Knicks more is because their big men cannot shoot to the likes of Cleveland's big men. Channing Frye can shoot, Kevin Love can shoot, and from what I heard, Tristan Thompson has developed a mid-range jump shot in this offseason. Hopefully he did that instead of hanging out with Khloe Kardashian. That freaking... I'm not going to say it. T-H-O-T. Anyway, so if you look at the Knicks, they have Porzingis that can shoot, but Joakim Noah's not a great shooter. Kyle Quinn's not a great shooter. He could hit like a 12-foot jump shot, but, I really wouldn't want him shooting that. And I really freaking wish the New York Knicks did not get rid of Derek Williams, man. He's such a great energy guy to come off the bench and just impact and just score buckets at need and just... I just freaking loved him, man. He was just so impactful when he would come on in the game, offensively and defensively. I'm happy we kept Lance Thomas as well. Lance Thomas is a great player off the bench for scoring. It's like Jamal Crawford. Like, we have this scorer coming off the bench, which is great. So now we have help. But anyway, so Stephen Curry improving his defense would really help the Golden State Warriors dramatically. That's why it's so much more important than you guys think it is. Like, people think like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. Look, he's dropping 30 points per game. Okay, well, he's limiting himself to how much he impacts the game when he can do that. And that's why I don't consider Stephen Curry a top 3 player in the NBA because of his defense. His defense is he can't even guard a point guard. It's sad. But from what I've seen so far, he's looking good out there on the defensive end. So I'm really happy for him, and I'm excited to see what the Golden State Warriors can do this season. Stephen Curry, it looks like he's going to have a great season again. Probably not MVP. Probably going to go to LeBron James. But at the end of the day, I'm glad that he improved his defense. It makes things more interesting. It makes the Warriors better. It makes Stephen Curry better. And it helps him impact the game even more. So that is why I'm always on Stephen Curry, because he limits himself to how good he can actually be on the floor. Like, people compare Stephen Curry's defense to, Carmelo Anthony or James Harden, but that's not the case because James Harden guards superstars. Carmelo Anthony guards superstars. And by the way, statistically, Melo was a good defender last season. But let's talk about his career. Carmelo's career. Carmelo can still guard star players, and he can guard his position, and he can also guard power forwards and two guards, which is why he's a very versatile defender. Now, yes, in his early years he was lazy, but he was still versatile defensively, and he didn't hinder his team as much as Stephen Curry does. That's why I say what I say in terms of LeBron, Kevin Durant, and Carmelo Anthony are the top 3 players in the NBA. Anyway, guys, I'm out of here. It's been Steve. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I hope you guys enjoy. That's my way of thinking. So now that I actually explained, why I think that, there you go, man. So anyway, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to make a video about that. I'm out. Peace.